दोस्तों, फिल्मी बातें न्यूज़ में आपका स्वागत है। मेरा नाम है मसीहुल्लाह। आज हम एक बहुत ख़ास फ़िल्म की बहुत ख़ास एक्टर से बातचीत करने जा रहे हैं, जो एंकर भी है, सिंगर भी है, परफॉर्मर भी है एंड इस मूवी के रिलेटेड एक्टर भी हैं। आज हम उनका वेलकम करेंगे यहाँ हमारे इंटरव्यू में। उनका नाम है इशिता सरकार। इशिता जी, प्लीज़ वेलकम टू फिल्मी बातें न्यूज़।
Thank you, Masi. I can call you Masi, right?
Yes, absolutely, you can call me.
Thank you, Masi, and thank you, Filmy Baatein, for having me here.
So, बताइए आपने अपना लव फॉर एक्टिंग इन द फिल्म्स कैसे डेवलप किया?
So, since you already mentioned कि मैं एक singer anchor हूँ और acting and music is in my blood. मेरी मरहूम grandmother, she was a theatre artist. She hailed from Bangladesh and she used to always act in theatres. Talking about me, I never got into acting. I was always asked to be a part of it. So, if you know, Malika Sarabhai is a very renowned name in Gujarat and worldwide. So I was 14 years old when I was asked to play the role of an actor celebrity in her series that she was doing at that time on her channel, and that's how I started. And then, of course, I had my, singing and acting. These things are not separate for me; they go hand in hand uh, as a form of art. And then on, I grew up and I got my lessons as an actor. I started from Anupam Kher sir's academy. I did a course from there. Then moving ahead, I got my acting skills brushed up from Veena Pani ma'am's institute in Pondicherry, and all in all, and the experience that you have on various projects, short films, ads, always kind of add on. So that has been my journey towards getting into acting. And of course, there's Miss India. So, 2009 when I got my accolades, it was very known that ये तो acting में तो जाना ही है. So it was not connected in any way, but yes, that.
Okay, that's very nice to hear. Beyond Blue happens to be a slightly different film than normal. So what compelled you? आपको ये फिल्म चूज करने का क्या मोटिवेटिंग फैक्टर था? एंड लाइक ऐसी कौन सी चीज अच्छी लगी इस फिल्म में आपको, इस स्क्रिप्ट में आपको, कि आपने ये फिल्म चूज की?
बियॉन्ड ब्लू थोड़ी नहीं, बहुत ही अलग किस्म की फिल्म है ये. इनफैक्ट सबसे स्ट्राइकिंग बात यही थी. और एट दैट टाइम टू आई वाज वेरी श्योर दैट आई डिड नॉट वांट टू डू रन ऑफ द मिल काइंड ऑफ फिल्म्स. एंड the most important factor why I chose to do this film is the director, Zanane, because he was my friend first, and when he came and he narrated the script to me, it was so different a script because it is so Indian in its element, because it revolves around maa ke haath ka khana. So it definitely drew my attention there, and I had a very different way and different shades to play in one character, like right from the demise of her mother to dealing with a psychopath to a girl dealing with a sense of loss, and she doesn't even live in the city. So this had so many kind of shades, and I really loved the way the entire story flows. And I think that's the reason that we have made so much noise out of the country, because if you see in international film festivals, they are always on the look of something completely new,
Right.
and also completely rooted. If you've seen all the films from India also, may it be Lagan, may it be Masan, they're very, very Indian in nature. So yes, that was one of the things that pulled me the most.
That's very nice. So as you mentioned that the film being Indian, meant so much to you. So what is your take on an Ahmedabad-based film that has gone on to Cannes Film Festival? What's your take on that, and how was your experience at Cannes as well?
Honestly, when we started off, we had a very blank screen. We did not We did not really know कि ये इतनी बड़ी फिल्म बन जाएगी. जब हमने शुरू किया था, like डॉक्टर आचार्य rightly said that हम लोगों ने ये नहीं सोचा था कि ये इंटरनेशनल फिल्म फेस्टिवल्स में जाएगी या बिजनेस के लिए ये फिल्म नहीं बनी थी. Honestly, these are his words, and I truly stand by that. I think जब art for art's sake जब एक बात आती है ना, तो art for art's sake becomes anyway it gives rise to good art, and we were looking at that. And Cannes was a big shocker surprise for us. And I think one of the best moments in my life, in any actor's life, is when Cannes Film Festival actually tweets you. So when they tweeted that, I am arriving at Cannes, I was totally floored, because even some of the most flourished and most famous actors, they want to go there, they want to
Right.
be there,
Right.
and they want to be in that directory. So and I realized Cannes Film Festival was a very different, very life-changing experience for me, because it puts cinema on a platter. And I have grown on varied kind of cinema. My
Right.
life, I think most hours of my life that I've relished are watching good cinema that has been produced. So Cannes Film Festival में बहुत ही अलग एहसास था, क्योंकि जब तक आप नहीं जाते हो तब तक आपको यही लगता है कि भाई, कि मैं कौन सा गाउन पहनूंगी, या which A-lister will I wear, or what will I done. It's all about the red carpet, how it's projected. But
Right.
once you actually go there, it it is actually your interest in films and filmmaking, and the whole world at one place is making different kinds of films. So the art actually comes way above than all the shenanigans जो हमें दिखाई देते हैं basically. And आप देखोगे कितने बेहतरीन actors वहाँ पे, uh, except for the red carpet, जब आप देखोगे in the tents that there are there, where they actually place the films up, they are more interested in talking to random people from random places, as long as you're talking about the art of filmmaking. So Cannes Film Festival is not just about those VIP parties. वो VIP parties वगैरह के पहले जो, मतलब actual, the meat of the crux
Right.
is what is truly truly enriching.
Right. Right. Fantastic. I mean, uh, that's absolutely very enlightening.
Or
Now,
sorry, I missed one more part. That was,
yeah,
you said that Ahmedabad based film. तो भले ही मैं मुंबई is my karma bhumi, and I'm actually a Bengali, but I always believe, मैं भले जहाँ पे भी गई हूँ in the world, I've always stood and vouched for Ahmedabad and Gujarat as a whole. Ahmedabad is a, it's a culture to me. So जब ये लोग बना रहे थे ना, तो बनने के बाद मुझे भी लगा कि क्या बात है, मतलब they have so much talent. Handful of people carrying up a film and a concept like this successfully is a big do. So now I think there's a time when I think talent was always prevalent in various parts of India. अब especially because of social networking and internet, अब ये मैटर नहीं करता. पहले वो एक था कि भाई ये मुंबई मुंबई के लोग हैं, ये अब धीरे धीरे ऐसी वो लाइन ना डिमिनिश हो रहा है कि as long as you have art, it doesn't matter where you're from, your story could be better than the metros.
absolutely, absolutely. So, you believe that it's a matter of pride that an Ahmedabad-based film actually went to Cannes.
Definitely, definitely.
Fantastic. Now, without going into spoiling the movie itself, I would like you to share something about your character that you're playing, what you loved about it, what you hated about it, and what did you find challenging.
Janvi, the character that
Right.
was written, I could relate to many parts of it. And first of all, Zanane had a very clear vision of Janvi, is why he called me. Ke, listen, the first person I can think of when I think about Janvi is you. And I, as a person, I would like to believe that I'm a very straight-faced, very matter of fact and strong-spoken woman. When it comes to Janvi, she is a very docile, very vulnerable, and a very girl next door with a happiness, bubbly chirpiness about it. If you have seen the film, you must have actually
Ah,
heard my voice was also very very different in it. So
right.
it gave me an entire range of emotions that I usually don't show, the softer side of me, with
Right.
various kinds of colors to it. If you've seen our film, you've seen that it is actually divided into chapters on the basis of colors.
Colors.
So ये कितनी खूबसूरत बात है that such a prism of different emotions of life that are, you know, projected. The easy thing was because Zanane is a fantastic director, and मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ कि मैंने ऐसे डायरेक्टर्स के साथ भी काम किया है जो आपको पूरा शॉट एक्ट करके बताते हैं और आपको उनके जगह पे फिल होके वही शॉट वैसे ही करना है. I mean, different directors, different ways.
Right.
But वो बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है because it's just a cast and you have to put your मिट्टी in it and ढल जाओ. Now
Right.
Zanane is one such director. Like we have Tushar on board. He's a very talented, gifted theater personality. In fact, so साथ ही साथ में he gives such good मतलब when people know their craft बहुत मजा आता है. The point is that, and Zanane would let us do one scene. उसने हमें कभी नहीं बताया कि आपको ऐसे करना है. He has given us the gist of the scene. We have marked the scene, you know, and then he allows us to do it in our own variation other than the डायरेक्टर्स पर्सपेक्टिव कि ये एक एक्टर मेल एक्टर के पर्सपेक्टिव से है, एक ये आपके पर्सपेक्टिव से है, एंड देन आई सी ऑल द थ्री, और जो मुझे लगता है सबसे रिलेटेबल लगता है मैं वो करूंगा. तो ये बहुत बड़ी बात है दैट यू एक्चुअली गिव देम सच अ बिग स्पेस टू क्रिएट व्हाट यू वांट टू क्रिएट. The most difficult thing about of Janvi was because well, since you don't want to reveal, I also don't want to reveal the entirety of it, but होता ये है कि when you know the ending and you know the story, right? I know what Tushar is, but to draw your character in a space and time where you don't know what is going on, because I am actually the goat in the movie, you know, like I'm the scapegoat, but I had to portray that one thing. And आज के वक्त में physical relationships जिस तरह से films में दिखाए जाते हैं, to show that नहीं अब इन दोनों में प्यार हो गया है या हुआ है. So there's a lot of physicality attached to it. Like you have hugs, you have kisses, you have love making scenes. But in this case, even in the chapter Pink, love is shown in its subtlety, very very subtle. Even if they are going out together, you know, it's just so much inner work. Matlab, on face you will just see a little, you know, that the person is loved, but without making it too obvious on the face. So that's where I really it was very beautiful and I really enjoyed that part कि हम actually जब प्यार में हो या कुछ भी होना, तो जब अंदरूनी चीजें होती है तो हम लोग ऐसे हाय प्यार हो गया ऐसा नहीं करते हैं. It just shows on our face. So I enjoyed playing the subtleties. And also the difficult scene was the climax, because there's revelation, there is action, there is thriller, there's thrill, there's so much of it all together, and then the release. So these two were the most difficult parts of the film for me.
That's absolutely, like, very enlightening. And since you have such a high opinion about your co-stars, and, like, you look up to them, and, like, you're really appreciative of them, so I would like to ask you, who is your acting role model? Who is the person on whom you've based your, like, your acting inspiration?
There are many. There can't be just one. Like if you talk about this film in particular. So before we have a sketch. This is what I learned from Anupam sir's, teachings, that we have to make a sketch. So I bugged Zanane's head. I had a entire, I think around about 90 questions that I filled in, which brought in the skeleton, skin and blood of the character. That is mine. I did not base this upon any actor or any role per se. I don't like to do that. Reference acting, maybe it works sometimes, but not for this one. And what I really liked doing in this was that I could bring in different. So what I do many times, if it's too difficult or बहुत अलग है हमारे comfort zone से, I like to listen to music since I am a singer. So if it's a very romantic scene, in my head or in my ears there's a song which is referring to that situation, and वो भाव अपने आप आ जाते हैं. That's where my music helps, other than my homework. My favorite actors, my referential people are Irfan Khan sir. Marhum Irfan Khan sir is one of my favorites. I love Om Puri sir's work. These are the people whose work I have grown up, like I've watched them as textbook. If I go a little step back, I loved Smita Patil's work. I love the directorial work of Shyam Benegal sir. So this is the kind of Hindi films where this is what I have grown up on. So yeah, so these are my definite, though they are not like, except for Smita ma'am, they are all male personalities, but I have always gone more, onto their nuances as to how they put things in.
Fantastic. What does Ishita Sarkar do when she's not acting?
Oh God, I do a lot of stuff. I've got a lot on my baggage right now, in my bag. I am learning music production right now. So I am learning the entire art of creating music. Like I said, I love watching films. So if you will find me, getting ready and watching something on Netflix at the same time right now. And I love cooking since we are talking about Beyond Blue, and
Right.
I love experimenting with food. So yeah, I love being a person at home as much as a person at work.
That's very nice. So earlier, while introducing, I said that you are an anchor, a singer, a model, a performer, and an actor. So out of these, what is that you are most fond of?
I think I would be most fond of acting first, though it sounds क्योंकि मैं ज्यादा गाने में मेहनत ज्यादा करती हूँ, but नहीं, I think I'm the most elated when I am knowing what I'm breathing into a character, so I think that is my number one.
Okay. So in acting, what do you prefer more, like acting that is being done on theaters or in films?
I have experience of both. So they are very different. They are very, very different because when on stage, I feel that it's more, how do I put it? It's more physical because आपकी audience आपके सामने ही है, तो उनके reaction, भले वो कुछ बोले ना बोले, उनके reaction से भी आपके काम में काफी addition होता है, इजाफा होता है, and I don't know why, but there's a sense of you're in it together, sort of. Your audience is with you, so you are in it together. और कैमरा अगर आपके सामने होता है ना, so you have that place where you can cut everything off and just be within, So I find that more a secluded space than on theater. But theater is definitely more fun because it's instantaneous. There's no retake in it, it's just there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, tell us something about your learning experience about acting. About where did you learn? How did you learn?
Like I just mentioned that I did a full course with Anupam Kher sir, and I had some wonderful teachers over there. That is one line of learning that I've had, and they have been very, very good at introducing us, to various forms of expression of acting, various types of acting, and I really, really took a lot from there. I'm still connected to my sirs. Like if I have a project coming up, I go back to them, and when we talk about it and we take notes. So I'm still in touch with my teachers from there.
Okay.
And a life changing experience that happened was at Pondicherry, and where they have a very different way of approach to acting as other than method acting or whatever. Because, and I found this most relatable because they teach us acting based on breathing, like, and it everything else became so easy. And I want to take this moment in to thank Adi Shakti and Vinay sir and Nimi ma'am and everyone, Apu, everyone who actually brought in. Udhar se nikalne ke baad, I felt that I could, attempt any kind of role that is uh, I'm fortunate to get. So these two were my main learning experiences. Other than being on set, I've done television as well. So वो सबके साथ भी अलग अलग कितने एक ही आर्ट को करने के जैसे एक पेंटिंग को करने के कितने सारे तरीके हैं. It's the same way. Just to approach one thing, there are so many different ways to do it, and that's what makes it interesting.
Right. Um, there has been a very continued discussion in the past couple of years regarding the difficulties new actors face while coming into in the acting business wherever they are. What is your opinion about the difficulties that the actors face, and what are the difficulties that you have yourself faced?
डिफिकल्टीज तो है, लाइक इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट, ये प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है व्हेन यू आर अ पार्ट ऑफ द ग्लैम इंडस्ट्री, एवरीबॉडी वांट्स टू नो अ लिटिल मोर देन व्हाट दे वांट टू नो अबाउट द अदर फील्ड्स, बिकॉज दिस इज ग्लैमरस, यू नो, ऑन द फेस. मुझे डिफिकल्टी ऑफ कोर्स है, न्यू कमर्स को ऑलरेडी है, एंड as straight as it may sound, but if you are from say a lower middle class or a middle class family, you know, you don't make money in acting till you reach a certain point, or if you have so much of volume of work that pays you well. So वो एक बार आप बन गए, उसकी राह में कई लोग आके पूरी जिंदगी अपनी गुजार देते हैं. They do very good work also, but you must have heard it so many times that, you know, so and so legendary actor could not, you know, do well or died a very bad death. So ये है, अभी you can't do anything about it. As far as I have faced, I have in that, you know, there's a term for it now, you know, they have a Bollywood mafia or whatever it is. I was very fortunate to find the right people, and I still have a very long way to go to comment on anything about it. I just feel that now there is very stupendous, very heavy competition in terms of very well trained actors. So I also don't have a background, I have no one to, you know, back me up. But at the same time, if you know your heart is in the right place, and you know your craft, at the end of the day, it's your craft that is going to take you ahead. I mean, point in case, I just said that I idealize Irfan sir. I read about his entire life, where he comes from, what difficulties he's faced. He's never said no to a role, even if it is not paying him. It's the joy of the work and his skill, and he landed up at so many prestigious projects, even in Hollywood, you know. So आई फील इट्स एन इंडिविजुअल स्टेक. पूरी दुनिया रहेगी, दुश्मन रहेंगे, सब कुछ रहेगा. अगर आप साबुत हो तो फिर आप कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. दिस इज माय टेक ऑन इट.
As you said that craft, since it's so important, and you mentioned Irfan sir and Om Puri sir as well. These are some of those actors who have chosen films very carefully. At times, of course, some less attractive roles as well, but
Yeah.
they have carved themselves like a very good area of success and popularity on the basis of the roles they chose. So what kind of roles would you prefer? What are the kind of roles that you would be more inclined to choose?
I in today's time want to be a part of such cinema, or be a part of those roles in which I can explore humanity in all its course. See, I have had a background in modeling, I have had a background in singing, so I know वो उधर क्या होता है क्या नहीं होता है, right? I'd rather go for roles जिसमें मुझे बहुत चीजों के बारे में बिल्कुल भी नहीं पता, and then to do those roles would be the real challenge. So I actually want to, you know, maybe say a rustic India, a part of the world that I don't know about, to bring out that, because that's challenging. And what they go through, because every time we do a character sketch, जब हम उनकी जगह जाते हैं to do a research or to find out, so what do they breathe in? Like for Janvi's role, I had to go back, think about कि उसने क्या academics में क्या पढ़ाई की थी. वो लड़की अपनी माँ को छोड़ के अगर अलग जगह पे रह रही है, और एंड शी कम्स बैक टू फाइंड दैट हर मदर इज नॉट देयर. वो सब चीज एक ही सीन में आप चेहरे पे दिखाना इज नॉट, बट इट इज इंटरनलाइज्ड. So I got to know about a life of a girl who is not what I do, and then completely relating. There's a human we are creating. So I want to go for more of these experiences, you know.
That's good. What are the few tips that you would give a new and aspiring actor?
So I am I'm not the one to put out the teaching things.
On the
I
basis
I
of your own
think
experiences.
yes, I would say that uh, try to broaden your horizons, and everyone, it even goes on for me. Try to broaden your horizons every day. And Ratna Pathak ma'am had said it in one of her interviews that the best and the worst part of being an actor is that you become very, very observant, self observant. दूसरों को observe तो बाद में, पहले self observant. Like if I talk, where does my mouth go, or how do I react to a certain situation. I think once you start observing yourself, you know, more and more, the easier it is for you to put it out on the screen or on the stage. So observation is the main thing. Like she even said that at the demise, I believe, of her mother, at such a crucial time also, she was observing herself कि मैं इस बात को कैसे react कर रही हूँ. So you're that self-aware. Being an actor, the best gifts that you get is, and that's a very spiritual way of going, that you become very, very self-aware that what you do, how you do. So that is what will put your work different from the rest of the gang, for sure.
See. Any behind the scene experience that you've had, which was like very interesting, that you'd like to share with us?
I wanted someone to ask me this question. I was waiting for this, you know. So some very distinct experience. One of the funniest incident that happened was the first shot. I don't have a dialogue. There is this rickshaw guy who comes, and I wave him my hand, and he's supposed to take me from point A to point B of the shoot. Now I just wanted to mumble something so that it looks very odd rickshaw or ghus gayi andar. So I called the rickshaw guy and told him कि भैया, there's a place in Ahmedabad called Navrangpura. कि भैया Navrangpura चलोगे? And the take was on. So he's like, हाँ हाँ मैडम बैठ जाइए, everybody. And he actually drove me off. Whole set, director, DOPs, everybody is after him. He's like, ये कहाँ गया? It's like actress को लेके चला गया. He's gone. And after a while, I was like, भैया रुके नहीं. मैं जी नरवनपुरा, मैंने नरवनपुरा थोड़ी सेट लगा हुआ है, घुमाओ तुम. So that was hilarious. That's one of the moments we'll never forget. Oh God.
My goodness. So, what is what do you think about Beyond Blue? How such films are going to like impact the film industry in general? Do you think that more such movies will be made, or what's going to be the impact of this film, being it a very different film?
I think we very gladly, very happily, we are in the times of a very different, distinguished line of filmmaking.
Right.
And you know, with the rarest films hitting up to the Oscars, you know, right now you must have just heard, to experimental film, because लोगों ने देख लिया ना, मतलब हिंदी सिनेमा के 100 साल के ऊपर हो गए हैं, ठीक है. वो एक एक्टर, वो एक हीरो हीरोइन को बचाने के बाद दे हैप्पीली लिव्ड एवर आफ्टर, वो वक्त अब मतलब वो रहेगा, बट वही रहेगा और वही चलेगा, वो बात खत्म हुई है. आई एम द हैप्पीएस्ट पर्सन that, you know, that is not the take. To explore the mind of a demented person, you know, without judgments के ये नहीं है कि ये कितना बुरा है या इसने क्या कर दिया. The fact that एक इंसान के दिमाग में किस हद तक क्या बातें हो सकती है, उसको एक्सप्लोर करना अपने आप में एक सक्सेस है. कि आप, और देयर इज नो वेट कि उसने ये किया वो किया, देयर इज नोबडी इज जजिंग, इट्स जस्ट अ प्लेटर कि ये हुआ था, अब आप डिसाइड करो कि क्या सही है क्या गलत है. ये आई लव दैट काइंड ऑफ सिनेमा, एंड दिस इज प्योरली एन आर्ट फॉर आर्ट सेक मूवी. कि हमने एंटरटेनमेंट होगा या नहीं होगा वो किसी ने एक भी बार, क्योंकि हमने बिजनेस के लिए बनाया नहीं है. सो आई नेवर हर्ड एनी ऑफ देम से दैट कि क्या लगता है यार ये सीन डालेंगे तो पिक्चर चलेगी, कि गरबा का सीन है तो एक काम करते हैं ना, गाना डाल देते हैं तो कुछ अच्छा हो जाएगा. वो कभी हुआ ही नहीं है. सो आर्ट फॉर आर्ट सेक है तो कहीं ना कहीं वो आर्ट वैल्यू उसकी बढ़ती ही है. So that is one thing, and definitely, और सबसे बेहतरीन बात यही है that a film from Ahmedabad could hit so many international film festivals in its entirety, right? From the people who were shooting, scripting, everything. So I believe rather than just seeing from a Bollywood, so to say, कि एक मुंबईकर डायरेक्टर के नजरिए से कि कानपुर कैसा होगा या बनारस कैसा होगा, आजकल बहुत सारी फिल्में हैं जो इन्हीं एरियाज में बन रही है. It would be great to actually see कि वहां के ही लोग अगर वहां की स्टोरी बताएं तो वो कौन से रंग की, you know, how would it be? So I think this is a good path that I would want, that different cities would also come out and tell their stories, because their flavor is their own, you know. It's not filtered through the eyes of a metro or something. It's very raw. Somewhere for a film like Gangs of Wasipur, it was also, though it's also a very different film, but you know what I'm saying, that it's very raw, and I think that hits you somewhere, because at the end of it, somewhere down the line, we all are, you know.
Right. Now, going with the current times, online platform as like taken the mainstream when it comes to the entertainment in anybody's lives, uh, until the COVID-19 difficulties जो अभी हम face कर रहे हैं, ये जब खत्म हो जाएगी उसके बाद we will once again start going to cinemas like normal, like the way before.
Right.
But then still online platform उस वक्त भी काफ़ी पॉपुलर रहेगा. ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म में डार्क थीम्ड टीवी शोज एंड फिल्म्स बहुत कॉमन आ गई हैं. और आपके ओपिनियन में डू यू थिंक दैट similar sort of freedom of content should be there in regular cinemas?
फॉर रेगुलर सिनेमाज, हर तरह की सिनेमा है. रेगुलर सिनेमा का अगर स्टोरी या पॉइंट ऑफ द स्टोरी टेलिंग इज नॉट डार्क, तो उसको खामा खामे डार्क बना के तो कोई मतलब नहीं है.
Right.
राइट, बट इफ योर स्टोरी इज डार्क एंड इट इज सेड सो, गोर भी एक है, मैंने एक और फिल्म शूट की है, इट इज वेरी गोर इन टर्म्स. बट ये कहना कि अगर वो ज्यादा क्या बोलते हैं, ऐसे सीन्स देखेंगे तो द people will also become like that. I am not, no. The one of the primary reasons why entertainment was created, you know may it be plays or anything, the one of the main reasons to create is this catharsis. कि अगर 13 साल 14 साल के बच्चे सर्टेन गेम्स जिसमें खून खून खूनम खून, मुझे लगता है कि क्यों ऐसा कर रहे हैं, बट वो करके अगर दे आर फीलिंग कथार्टिक, तो आई फील इट्स एक्चुअली इन अ वे गुड फॉर सोसाइटी, कि वो वापस करेंगे नहीं वो. इफ देर इज अ डार्क पार्ट इन अ फिल्म दैट दे कैन रिलेट, फिर and it is released, that that element is released, so they can go on to live their happy lives. I have nothing wrong with dark content or sexual content or anything like that. Why? Because there is not just one kind of audience. There are different kind of audiences, and everyone has the right to choose what they want to watch. So if they are getting that variety, it is 100% right. They should have the, क्यों देखे वो उस चीज से जिसे वो relate नहीं कर सकते, because it's entertainment. They are going to watch it, finish it, and go. As far as film theaters are concerned, we were having this discussion with some of my filmmaker friends कि ये तो पैंडेमिक की वजह से चीजें बहुत तेज हो गई, बट कहीं ना कहीं ये क्वेश्चन था कि थिएटर्स का कब तक रेलेवेंस रहेगा. इंडिया में तो खैर वी स्टिल आर अ वेरी टाइट निटेड फैमिली, कि हम लोग फैमिलीज को लेकर साथ में जाना इज अ कल्चर विच हैज स्टेड इन आवर ब्लड फॉर ऑलमोस्ट 50 years. तो हमारे लिए ये बात तक रहेगा. बाहर जहाँ पे लोगों को फैमिली से मिलने के लिए अपॉइंटमेंट लेनी पड़ती है या उनको वक्त नहीं मिलता, तो वो सब ऑलरेडी ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे, स्ट्रीमिंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे स्विच कर चुके हैं. सो इट्स
Right.
एक्चुअली अ बिग क्वेश्चन दैट कितने रेलेवेंट रहेंगे थिएटर्स इन द कमिंग टाइम. और अगर आप देखें जो बड़े प्रोजेक्ट्स अभी भी बन रहे हैं हॉलीवुड में, अभी तो बॉलीवुड में भी शुरू हो चुका है, कि आप जो भी देखोगे ना फॉर द बिग स्क्रीन एवरीथिंग इज वेरी फैंटास्टिक. मतलब फैंटेसीज ज्यादा चल रही हैं, सुपर हीरो फिल्म्स हो गई, या फिर वेरी 3D experiences. So now it's not just about going and watching a film. Like personally, if I want to go to the, if you want to take me as a consumer to the theater, you have to give me something more than just sitting and watching it on the screen, because I can do that in my huge flat screen at my home also. So India may maybe later, but I think we saw it coming, because now more 3D films, more experiential films will work for the theaters.
Now, besides Beyond Blue, what are your favorite films?
There are a lot. Hindi mein, my all-time favorite Hindi film is Chini Kam. I love uh, that film. From an actor's point of view, I love Shyam Benegal sir's Bhumika. Madhur Bhandarkar sir had actually given me a DVD of films that he had written for me, that when I was in, like, very, very young, that तूने ये picture देखी है, तू ये देख. These are the films. I'm thankful to him that he gave me. I loved Bhumika and I take so much from it. ये तो मेरी बहुत I love these films. I love Makbul. Makbul is one of my, oh God, favorite films. In Hollywood, I love soft rom-coms. So I love The Holiday Somewhere. It's a comfort film for me.
Okay.
New York, I Love You. Like there's so many, बहुत सारे हैं. I've got like TBs and TBs of films. So these are a few honest ones that I've picked up.
So any specific genre that you like, watch more,
Not really. I
like
have a
rom-coms or maybe thrillers, since you've acted in one?
I like thrillers. I like action thrillers more. I love the old school hand on hand action movies, war movies. I love watching those kind of movies. Rom com, yeah, kabhi kabhi. More than a rom com, I think I'm an action thriller, uh, a person. I like, and since I like the art of filmmaking, anything that gives me different kind of treatment of cinema, different kind of how do I put it? Shooting the film, I enjoy those aspects as much as just the storyline of the film.
Right, right. Fantastic. Now, before I conclude this interview, एक आखिरी question. आपके future plans, any new projects or anything that you have undertaken or you're planning to?
I am right now focused on singing because the previous year has changed a lot in aspect
Absolutely.
कि क्या करें क्या ना करें. It's put us into introspection actually. So right now I'm focused on music. I'm writing a few songs myself right now,
Okay.
and once I get back on full fledged, let's see what life has to offer.
Absolutely.
I also want to explore international cinema in terms of acting, not just you know not just India. अलग अलग तरीके के फिल्म्स जैसे ये भी की है. मेरी दूसरी फिल्म जो डायरेक्टर संजय छेल ने बनाई है वो भी एक बहुत ही दिलचस्प फिल्म है. We were not getting to release it. Now finally I hope we get to release. So I would like to keep on exploring different kind of cinema.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Ishita, for being here with us. Now,
Thank
there are
you.
some photos that I'd like to share from behind the scenes. It's
Oh
going to
God,
be
yes.
on your screen. Just give me 1 second.
माँ के हाथ का खाना is such a central theme to everyone. I think any boy can be Manas because they love their माँ के हाथ का खाना so much.
Absolutely, absolutely. What about you? Do you love your mother's food, or do you cook something for her too?
I do cook for her, but I have she was a working woman, so she has not really gotten time to cook food for me in my childhood. But now after retirement, I'm a Bengali यार. हमारा तो धर्म ही है खाना. मतलब it's food is religion for us.
Right,
Very different kinds of dishes, fish especially,
right,
and different kind. Bengali also has a very big vegetarian terrain, which people don't think they think we only
right.
eat mach bhat.
Yeah,
It's not like that. So now she is feeding me all the most delicious food hand cooked, and there of course यार वो कुछ तो है माँ के हाथ का खाना that पता नहीं क्या स्वाद है.
right.
It's different. Oh my God.
Now, this is one of the scenes that I would request you to share something about.
Manas, I remember this one particular. It's not very. It's not very clear to me. I can't see what I'm wearing to
Let us
remember.
zoom the thing a little bit.
Am I wearing something white?
Yes, you're wearing, I think, a white t-shirt.
Yes. This is, I
Okay.
think, one of the
Early
recent
scenes.
episodes. Yes, recent episodes of me meeting Manas. This is
Right,
after the loss of my mother, and
right,
I'm still dealing with it.
right,
So
right,
she breaks down. कि क्या हुआ था, and why would someone do this to someone as harmless as my mother?
right.
So somewhere at that time, yes.
Very nice. Now, there's another scene. Uh, this is the scene where you are traveling in the car with your co-star Tushar Pandey,
Yes.
and we had, I think, your production had a chroma scene set behind the car. So
Yes.
the car was actually still, and
Yes.
in the post production, the
Yes.
background was added. So could you share
Yes.
something about that scene?
So we have couple of scenes in the car, okay, and we are in the car for long, like very long hours because there काफी सारे scene है गाड़ी में और हर scene में आप देखोगे तो उसमें गाड़ी चल ही रही है, but
Right.
this is actually a chroma shot. They've done a good job with that. Congratulations. And those if you see there are people actually with mics also because a lot of the part of the movie is like dubbed at the same time.
Right.
So ये लोग भी नीचे खड़े इधर खड़े हैं.
Right. Right.
We are having very hardcore philosophical talks about life कि क्या है. And there is also a time when I ask कि तुम बाहर का खाते ही नहीं हो, मतलब what a psycho you are, कि ये कौन है जो बाहर का खाना नहीं खाता है, you know. So I believe this is one of those
And there was
scenes.
one more line attached with this one, which I remember very nicely, that you said that बड़े अच्छे बच्चे हो तुम, घर पे खाना खाते हो. So that was, I guess, one of the, probably it was this same car scene.
Yes, ये बड़े अच्छे बच्चे हो यार तुम तो, मतलब इसलिए ऐसा कौन है, क्योंकि जहां तक मैं जानती हूँ आधे तो बाहर ही खाना इतना पसंद करते हैं. It's so rare. Like, are you normal? I think that was a good point, you know, कि तुम normal तो हो ना, कि मतलब बाहर का खाते भी नहीं हो, ऐसा कौन करता है. So how are you going to take me on a date, you know?
Exactly. Now there's another
God.
scene, the Garba scene.
Yes,
So
yes.
tell us something about your experience with the Garba, the whole sequence.
So though I am born and brought up in Ahmedabad, challenge. I'm a singer, so I sing in Gujarati. I have my banner shows with everyone around the world, making people play Garba, but I did not know how to do Garba. So yeah, I have zero idea about कैसे गरबा करते हैं. और तुषार तो मेरा भी मतलब मुझसे, because he's not even from here, right?
Exactly.
So we and Tushar took it like this, कि I am going to do my version of it, but I'm just going to be so confident about it. It's like, ठीक है, I learned it, you know, I learned some steps. That's our director Zanane, and he is a Garba pro. मैं बोला अभी ये अगर देखेगा तो ये बोलेगा कि हमने क्या ही कर दिया. And they actually created a proper set with lights, with normal Garba like goers who were all dressed up, and we had a live band, and actual band who were actually singing. So ऐसा नहीं था कि हम लोग sound reference बजा के उस पे कर रहे हैं.
Right.
It was all live, and look at her, she's looking so lovely. My mom, my on-screen mom, and me, we did not have even one scene together. I just, मुझे बहुत बुरा लगा था कि आपको कभी ऐसा लगेगा नहीं जैसे फिल्म बनी है, but मुझे वही था कि I wish हमारा एक सीन साथ में होता. एक है जहाँ पे she is lying down, lying down,
Right.
but it's a cut scene, so I have not had any scene with her. But जब भी मैं set पे इनके साथ होती थी, तो it was so natural. I literally felt like I had my mom on the set. So मुझे सिर्फ एक ही अफसोस था कि I wish हम दोनों के कुछ scenes साथ में होते, you know. And this was Garba, and you can see we have sweated it out completely.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm holding the hearth, because the hearth mujhe de di Thakur. I was doing. That's a very lovely moment. Yes.
There's another one of the car scenes. We can actually see the chroma screen behind.
Yes,
It
yes.
was still for the most part. I guess one of the scenes where it comes to the second half of the movie, very closer to the end, if I have it correctly.
Right,
And,
right.
I guess, let me see. This is another picture that I have.
Yes, this is your thriller action all in go. So
you have the whole expression of, as you said, that you like action movies a lot, right? So you have that expression very keen,
yes.
and very
Yes, because there's this, yes, it's right there. Deceit bhi hai, gussa bhi hai, because it's now she finds out it's not just about her, but it's also about her mother.
Exactly.
Forget your own situation, but it's also, there's so much vengeance on my face. Oh God, yes.
No, there's another after this. This is the one that very emphasizes the intensity even more than the previous one.
Because now I think I'm almost like a Kalima out here with my tongue sticking out. No, this is because now this is do or die. Forget vengeance. We are not giving away the story. So this is do or die. So you give all that you have. So I think, yeah. My God, this is very close.
So this was your the total cathartic moment of your action hero, the inner action hero that you could bring out.
And Masi, the tears are real. I don't want to gloat here, but the tears are, oh yes, they are real. So thanks to Adishakti again for getting it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So I guess all the method acting and all the things that you've learned during your tenure at that institute would actually come up to this result, and I'm sure you're happy because I'm sure the director is, and you can actually see the tears even from here. Look at that.
Mm.
You're
I think
absolutely
definitely all
very
that, but
very thorough, natural tears, not the glycerin tears that we usually see.
to each his own. यार scene निभना चाहिए real है क्या है, it should, you should be able to relate, the point is that.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
yeah, but no, not without good co-actors. Yeah, Tushar and me, I don't know what he would say, but I had such a good time working with him because I think most of the scenes it was just me and him, you know.
Right, right,
So and sometimes I'm there and I'm in love with him, and the other moment I'm going to kill. I love you, I'll kill you. This is what it is. So yeah, but if it wasn't him, because it's always two peas in a pod. So I'm just so happy we shared that comfort कि हम एक दूसरे से as being actors कि वो screen खींच नहीं रहे हैं, we are actually adding on to it. So that is, and he's
absolutely,
a wonderful actor and a wonderful person, so
absolutely.
goes without saying.
So for the viewers, I must say this was a very very an experience that she shared. We actually felt like we were part of the production. We were actually there. We actually felt that we were in the movie. And I would request all my viewers, मैं सभी दर्शकों से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि MX प्लेयर पर बियॉन्ड ब्लू जरूर देखेगा as soon as possible. And we thank Miss Sarkar very very much for sparing her precious time and being here with us and sharing all these lovely stories with us. And we wish you a great success for the coming
Thank you.
years. And I'm sure you'll do great. You have great talent. So
Thank you.
thank you so much, Ishita,
Thank you, Masi. I'd
and
also
God
take this
bless.
moment to congratulate our entire production team,
Right,
Nanoland, and we have just won an award from the Golden Gate International Film Festival. We have won a jury award, which is, jury awards are very, very khas, and they
right.
mean a lot. So, and they have, the entire production team has been up sometimes at 3 a.m., sometimes doing so many non-stop hours, and it's, we are just the face of it, they are the, you know, skin and blood for it. So I want to take a moment to congratulate all of you, and thank you, Masi, thank you so much, thank you, Filmy Baatein.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you, everyone. God bless.